Hello children. So today we have to start with the first topic, that is topographical sheets. Topographical sheets are also called as the topographical maps. These are actually prepared by Survey of India, and these are the maps which show all the details of any area. And these are a type of maps which are drawn on large scale. Now what is that? Actually in this, a small area is taken and all the details of that area is shown in this map. And generally the scale used in this map is 1:50,000 or 1:25,000. Okay. Now in the topographical sheet or the topographical map, what is so different? First of all, you all should know what is a map. In general, the maps which we use, all such maps are basically, the map is a two-dimensional representation of any part of land on a plain sheet of paper. That is called a map, and it should be drawn on a scale. So if we see the different types of maps, you'll find cadastral map, thematic map, physical map, the political map, administrative map, different types of maps we use in general. And these are used especially for whatever purpose we need, we draw that type of map. Now, what is this topographical sheet? Topographical sheets are the maps which are showing all the different features all together on one sheet of paper. In the beginning, it was actually found that it is going to be very difficult and it's not possible. But yes, it was made possible by the Survey of India, and what they have done is to show all the different features on a single map. They have used different conventional signs, they have used different alphabetical symbols, different colors. So all these things, when they have been taken together, that has made possible to show all the cultural as well as natural features all together in one map. And that is the topographical map. Right? Now topographical sheets are showing man-made features as well as the natural features all together in one paper, one sheet of paper. And that's why these are considered as very important source of information, especially in defense sector, where the planning and all has to be done for construction purpose, suppose construction of roads and all. So in all such fields, the importance of topographical sheets has become very much these days. Now in general, children, in any of the other maps, when we try to locate a place, for that purpose, you must have seen also at times on the globe or in any other map, you must have seen several vertical lines are drawn and some horizontal lines are drawn. These vertical lines which are drawn on any other type of maps which we use or on the globes, these vertical lines are called as longitudes. And same way, the horizontal lines which are drawn over there, these are called as the latitudes. And there is a crisscross, or you can say a network of these latitudes and longitudes which are formed over these maps. These are called as grid. And now what is the use of the grid? Grid is actually used to locate any place on a map. Whenever any longitude, suppose I am giving you one example here. Suppose a longitude is there and there is a latitude drawn over here. We have to locate a place at this point. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to mention the latitude of it then the longitude of it. Now, how to get the location of that place with the help of these two numbers? Where these two lines are going to intersect, that means this longitude and this latitude, wherever these are going to intersect with each other, that is going to be the exact location of that place. This is how it helps in locating a place. Now, when we talk about the topographical sheets are drawn on a large scale. That means it becomes very difficult in the topographical sheets to locate a place with the help of the latitudes and longitudes. So what to do now? How to locate a place? For that purpose, what we have done is we have taken similar vertical and horizontal lines. Now the vertical lines which are drawn over here in the topographical sheets are called as the eastings. These all the vertically drawn lines on the topographical sheets are called as the eastings. And same way, the horizontally drawn lines are called as the northings. So in the topographical sheets, the vertically drawn lines are called as the eastings and the horizontally drawn lines are called as the northings. Now why these are called eastings? Because it is believed that always the zero is taken at southwest corner of the topo sheet. That means this is a point from where the counting starts. So over the topographical maps, the vertically drawn lines, you can see these are vertically drawn lines and these are called as the eastings. These are called eastings. Why these are called eastings? Because it is believed that the number starts from the southwest corner of the topo sheets. When we start the numbering from southwest corner, as we move towards the east, the number starts increasing. And this is why we call all these vertical lines as the eastings, as we are going towards the east. Same way, all these horizontal lines which are drawn here, these are called northings. The reason is again, as we go from this level towards the north, the numbers are getting increased 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 in this manner. And that's why these are called as the northings. Right? Now, children, what is the use of it? Again, the topic which we had discussed a little bit in the earlier part, here the use of the topographical these grid lines, these are called the grid lines, right? Vertically drawn lines and the horizontally drawn lines are called the grid lines. Now, with the help of these eastings and the northings, we can easily locate a place, especially on the topographical sheets. Okay, suppose we have to locate any place which is lying here in this grid square, right? Now how to locate it? How to give the grid reference of it? For that, you have to mention the easting first and the northing after that. That means always when you have to locate any place, for that purpose, you should be careful that you are taking L in that. right? L, the alphabet L. And when you will cover alphabet L, you will get one easting, that is this easting we are getting, right? And one northing as well. So when you write the value of these, that is the eastings are written first, that means it's going to be 11, and the northing is going to be written after that, so it's going to be 21. So you are going to write like this. So this is actually the 4-figure grid reference of this particular point. This way we actually locate any particular place, any tank, any well, or any such thing, any other cultural feature or any natural feature as well. So basically, what is the use of these grid lines? These grid lines are helping us to locate exactly the feature on the topographical sheet, right? And for that, when we use this method, that is 2 numbers in the eastings and 2 numbers of the northings, that gives us 4 figures, right? And that's why this is called as 4-figure grid reference. Okay, let's try it once again. Suppose we have to locate one small tree is there, right? And you have to locate this tree. In which grid square does it lie? So what you are going to say? Again, let's practice it once. So the first thing you have to keep in mind is you have to take the L again, right? And in the L, which easting is coming? That is number 13. And which northing is coming? You can see here, this is 23. And this is going to be the grid reference of this particular grid square. And that's why it is called as the 4-figure grid reference, right? So this is how we locate any particular place on the topo sheets. Now besides this, one very important thing we have to discuss here again after this is the various methods to show the height or the altitude. Various methods to show the height on topographical sheets. Now what are the different methods used on the topographical sheets to show the height of different places? For that purpose, we use these few methods. Number one is a small triangle will be shown on the topo sheet, and along with that a number is written. This indicates always a triangulated height of that particular point. Now what is a triangulated height? Actually it gives us a very accurate height of any particular place, and it is taken out with the help of trigonometry. With a proper survey it is taken out, so it is considered as one of the best methods to show the height, and it gives us very accurate height. So when this symbol is shown, what does this mean? It means it is a triangulated height of 100 meters. You can see here, whatever number it may be, it is 100, 200, 300, 150, 180, whatever it is. What does this mean? It means this is a triangulated height of 100 meters above the mean sea level. Now this is the first method to show the height or altitude of any particular place. Second method is called the benchmark height. At a few places you may find in the topo sheets, it is written like this, BM, and then any number is written, right? It can be 100, 200, whatever number it is. But the main thing you should understand is benchmark. What does this mean? In short, it is written as BM and then the number is mentioned. So what is the meaning of it? It refers to a benchmark height of 100 meters above the mean sea level. Right? Now, what is it now? What does this mean? Benchmark height is always a height of, you can say, a particular point, height of a particular point, where it is shown with the help of you can say a structure is there, or any old tree is there, or any rock is there. So over that structure or over that rock, it is engraved, right? It is written like BM and then the number is mentioned. Now what does this indicate? It is not the height of that structure. It's not the height of that rock or any tree. It is showing us the height of that particular point above the mean sea level is 100 meters. Right? And because it is shown over that particular feature, that's why it is called as benchmark. This is the only method to show the height which can be seen on the land in actual. Why? Because it is engraved over any of the features. Right? It can be any building, it can be any rock, it can be any old, very old tree. Right? So this is called as BM100, or it is also called as benchmark, with the height of 100 meters above the mean sea level. Okay. One more thing I must tell you here at this point, that whenever children, it is mentioned 200, 40, 300, 100, 10, whatever is mentioned in numbers, it always indicates that the value is given in meters. Always on the topo sheets, the height or any such value is given in meters. Right? So it is understood. That's why you will find that it's never mentioned 300 meters, 200 meters, never it is mentioned like that. It's just the number which is mentioned. Okay, so it is understood that it is the value in meters above the mean sea level. Now after this, next one comes as a spot height. Always a dot will be given, and along that dot any number will be mentioned. Now what is it? That is called as a spot height. Suppose it is given like this, a dot and 100, a dot and 200 or 150, 160, 170, whatever is the number. That indicates what? A spot height of 100 meters above the mean sea level. Right? Again from the mean sea level. So what does this indicate now? A spot height of 100 meters above the mean sea level. So this is again another method to show the height of any particular place. After this, one more method which is commonly used by us in the topo sheets especially is called as the contour. Right? Now what is the meaning of a contour? What is the meaning of a contour? Contour is actually an imaginary line. Again, it is an imaginary line, but what is the importance of it? This line is drawn in such a way that it joins all the places having same altitude above the mean sea level. So if we are writing here 100, right? In a contour line, within that it is mentioned 100. That means it is a contour line of 100 meters above the mean sea level. It is showing the height of this contour line. And what is this height? It is 100 meters above the mean sea level. That means what? It is a line which is joining different places having, all these places are having 100 meters height. And when we join these all places with a line, that forms a contour having a value of 100 meters above the mean sea level. So this is another method which is used to show the height of any place with the help of contours. Now this is another method. Then after this, these are most commonly used methods which are actually taken in the topo sheet. Now after this, one more method is generally used in the topo sheets is the relative height and relative depth. Now what is it? Something new for you. Relative height and relative depth. And it is always shown like this. When it is written in black, always it is going to show the relative height. And the other one, when it is in blue, that means it is showing the relative depth. So when it is written like this, 10R in this way, so it is indicating that any particular feature has got a relative height of 10 meters. But that's all. You don't have to mention from the mean sea level. Why? Because it is in reference to the surrounding area. That's why it is called as a relative height. Suppose, one example I am giving you. Suppose any embankment is there. Generally, the symbol of embankment is shown like this. Right? Any embankment is there on one side of the tank. Okay, this is a tank and over one side of it, the embankment is there. And along the embankment, it is written like this. Suppose it is 15R. 15R. Now what does this indicate? It is showing us the height of, the relative height of the embankment is 15 meters. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Another example I can give you. Suppose any structure is there, right? You can take the bank of river. Okay, suppose any bank of, this is a river, and along the bank of river it is written like this, 10R. Now what is it? Again, it is showing the height, relative height of the bank of river is 10 meters. Right? This is called the relative height. And another one is there, that is called relative depth. Now where it can be used? Relative depth is generally used in the case of, suppose you can take the example of a well, right? Suppose any well is there. It is shown with the help of a small dot. Now if any perennial well or any seasonal well, whatever it is, if a well is there and along the well it is written by blue 10R. Now what does this indicate? It always indicates that the relative depth of the well, because well is not going to have any height. Okay, you have to use your common sense in certain cases. Well is not going to have any height, so it is always going to be the relative depth. So when it is written 10R, so that means the well has got a relative depth of 10 meters. So this is called as the relative height and relative depth. You can take one example. Suppose in the topo sheets, we have got a few contour lines on the northwestern corner. This is northwestern corner of the map, right? And you can see several contours are there. This is the first contour. Here it is mentioned 300. Then the next one is 400, 500, and the topmost is 600. Same way this side also, it is 300, 400, and at the top it is shown with the help of a small triangle and 500 is mentioned there. What does this indicate? This triangle and 500, this indicates a triangulated height of the peak of that hill is 500 meters above the mean sea level. Right? And what about these contours? When it is shown in this way, 300 means it is a contour height of 300 meters above the mean sea level. Now when this contour height is shown, that means we are talking of all the places which are joined by this line are having this same height above the mean sea level. And always, children, one more thing you should keep in mind in this case, all these different methods to show the height are shown by black color. In the topo sheets, always these are shown with the help of black color. But when we are talking of the contour heights, contour lines, always these are shown by brown color. Contour lines are always shown on the topo sheets with the help of brown color. Not only the contour lines, along with that, the height which is mentioned, the contour height, is also shown with the help of brown color always. Now after this, you can take this example, BM200. What does this indicate? What is the meaning of it? It shows a benchmark height of 200 meters above the mean sea level. Okay. Same way, if a dot is there and 40 number or 400, whatever number is given, what is this now? A dot is given, a black dot again. So this indicates a spot height of how much? 40 meters above the mean sea level. So in this way, children, we always use these symbols to show the height on a topo sheet. Today we have to cover the drainage pattern. Now what is the meaning of a drainage pattern? Drainage means related to any of the water bodies. Now drainage pattern, when we say, it means that what shape, what pattern is formed by different rivers or the streams which are flowing in any area, that is referred here, right? So in topographical sheets, what is the importance of it now? We even cover the flow of river, in which direction they are flowing, what pattern they are making, right? So all these things are studied in the topo sheets. Now when we take all the different streams which are flowing through that area, we get a certain pattern which is made, which is formed by these streams. And according to that, we call this as a drainage pattern of any particular type. Now basically, the drainage pattern is of 4 types. Now children, what are the different drainage patterns? We have to study here the 4 different types of drainage patterns we can find in the topographical sheets. The first most important one is the dendritic drainage pattern. Dendritic. One term is there which you can easily relate here. In biology you must have studied about the nervous system, and in that dendrons, neurons, dendrons are the terms we use there. Now dendrons, by the dendrons you can relate this term, dendritic. That means it is having quite similar shape, the pattern like the dendrons. Okay, so what is this pattern? Whenever in any area you get this type of shape which is being formed, that means what is the shape? Just like you can say the branches of a tree, right? If it develops like this, this is called as a dendritic drainage pattern. Okay, this is called a dendritic drainage pattern. Number 2 is the neutralized drainage pattern. It is also many times called as the rectangular pattern. Why? Because almost all the channels, all the small streams which are joining the main stream, you can find here that all these are almost parallel to each other, right? So this is why it is also called as rectangular pattern, or it is well known by the name neutralized pattern. This is the second one. Third one is the radial pattern. Now what is radial? It has come from the word radii. That means the streams flow in such a manner that it seems that they are actually following the radii of a circle. From the center, you can see here children, from the center it seems that they are forming the radii. Okay, moving in different directions. And that is why it has got the name radial drainage pattern. So this is called radial drainage pattern. And the fourth one, I must tell you one thing here children, that it is actually not a drainage pattern. It is a feature of the rivers in certain areas, especially the areas where you will find, suppose it's very dry area, right? The rainfall is very scanty. In those areas, you will find a type of streams which are found there that is called as the disappearing stream. Disappearing stream. Why it is called so? Because this stream normally will be like this, and after some time you will find that it has got vanished. It has got submerged under, it seeps down inside, right? It goes underground, and then again where it gets any hard rock, again it comes up on the surface. Again it goes underground, again it comes up on the surface. So this has made it to be called as a disappearing stream, which gets disappeared at times. It is also called as underground, it is also called as intermittent. These are the various names of this type of drainage pattern, we can say, but generally it is not taken as a pattern. It is a feature of the river, generally found in those areas where it's very dry condition, or the rainfall received is very scanty rainfall. Okay, so these are all the different types of drainage patterns. Now here we are taking a break, and I'm going to continue in the next video with the other topic of the topo sheet. Till then, once again, bye.